What's good, Heem? What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Life of Champ podcast, episode number 41. Talking about conspiracy theories today with the boy Cameron. Cameron, for the people that don't know you, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Cameron. I don't know how to introduce myself really. I'm just vibing. I'm
It's
just
Cam.
out here.
That's the boy Cam. That's the boy Cam, right? We've been friends for it was a few months now. Yeah, we about to go. We about to go ahead and get it started for you guys today. Like I said, if you're in here right now, if there's any specific conspiracy theories you want us to talk about, make sure you go ahead and leave it in the comments, just so we can either talk about that or if you have any other questions that you want to talk about, just go ahead and put them in the comments. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Give me 1 second. All right. The first thing I want to talk about today. Let me ask you the question, man. Let me just ask you this question. This is the question that we talked about, right? What are 3 things that you think that you're skeptical about the things that we're told or the ways that we're supposed to conventionally live life?
I think the whole wake up, work, go to sleep, repeat, and our whole purpose here is to create more people, right? You've kind of been told that, right?
Wait, are you saying that's not the purpose? Is to create more people? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think so. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know if I can answer what I think our actual purpose is, but that whole concept of hey, our life is literally just make more people, go to work, and that's about it. There's got to be more than that, right?
Oh no, for sure there is more than that. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, for sure there is more than that, but okay. So you just don't believe in that repetitive cycle. You think there's more. It's probably more grand than that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. What's another thing in that type of umbrella of things that you kind of are skeptical about?
Um, that's the biggest one, honestly. That's the one that really sticks out. I don't think there's really any that if I can answer 3, I think there's just our whole purpose of being has got to be more grand than just make more.
Just pretty much it's basically the rat race. If you guys have ever read any specific books on just financial freedom in general, the rat race is basically where you work. You have your expenses, obviously, from the money that you made, and then you kind of go into this continuous cycle where you're just working, spending your money working, pretty much.
Exactly.
Drone worker life is what America wants you to accept. Accept. I like that. I like that choice of word, team. Like I said, appreciate you stopping by. Accept. That's an interesting one right there. Let's get into what Heem said before the podcast even started. Right, Bigfoot is just a hairy bum, a big hairy bum surviving off ancient herbal remedies. Damn, that boy has a. That boy had that. That's you know what. Here's the thing. What I will say is that's well thought about. I could just tell by the way you fucking phrase that shit. Well thought about, thoroughly examined. That's for sure. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
I don't. I guess I wouldn't
Do
say
you believe
that.
in Yeti?
I can't say that I don't believe in them, but I can't say I fully believe in them. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, it's
No, that makes 100%. I think that's where I stand as well.
I'm I can't be nah, there's no way that's real, or oh yeah, no, most definitely, because I'm more someone that's if I see it for myself, that shit's real. I saw it with my own eyes. With the technology we have right now, you think we'd be able to be yeah, so that's Bigfoot. He's over here now. I feel we should be able to do that.
Yeah, with the amount of cameras and shit as well. Yeah, you think you'd fucking figured it out by then. Plus the amount of dedicated people
For real.
that are I devote my entire life to just this fucking one conspiracy theory that could be true or could not be true.
It's got to be something now.
Who the fuck knows? Right? But I appreciate that input right there. That's a funny one. That's a funny way. All right, so going back to the original question, what are 3 things that I think that you're skeptical about? I'll give you one of the one that I'm skeptical about. Besides without taking yours into account, I would say skeptical about just the way we communicate, I would say. So to get into that, I feel like there's how do I want to describe it? So almost like the spiritual realm. I feel like there's people that are not attuned to that.
Yeah.
So I think that anything that could potentially prohibit that, like whether that's drugs, whatever the hell you want to say it is, right? Psychedelics, whatever, right? If there's anything that prohibits that, um, then I feel like it's kind of a suppression to the overall expression of human beings in general,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I feel like that is something that I'm skeptical about, like the notion that these things are bad, or like he even mentioned the herbal remedies. Like there's things like that can cure the things that we have or the problems that we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like a source to go to. It's more of like taboo, more of like, oh, who the hell actually knows, instead
Yeah.
of, hey, like there's actual shit that it has to do with what's going to benefit us as an entire whole, and not just really thinking about it from like a capitalist mindset.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean that does make sense because like I've heard, I don't know whether or not it's completely true, but I've heard like we have like remedies to cure cancer, right? Kind of
Yeah.
like that capital mindset, right? We have remedies to cure cancer, but we don't want to do them because chemo's expensive. It's more the money that they get out of it. Plus, it's like, oh, who actually knows if it really works? It's because they don't really want to look into it so much, just because it's not a moneymaker kind of a thing.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, that's kind of what I was getting at with the capitalist part. Pretty much, the fact that it's, if somebody's cured, then they're not a consumer anymore. So
Exactly.
it's fucked. It's fucked. And with that being said, in general, right? Another thing that I'm skeptical about is just the moral compass that everything's the foundation's laid on. I don't think the people in power exactly have the best interest for us, rather than it's just as much control as they possibly can really put on us.
Yeah.
Like, for example, do I believe that there's things? And like I said, I don't have any evidence, right? But I'm sure I could find some shit if I really was dedicated to figure that shit out. I think I could really do it. Man, I feel like it's not going. It wouldn't be too hard to find these resources, and people do it. People overcome these crazy disabilities, whatever. There's miracles that happen, not all the time, but there's miracles that happen, right?
Yeah.
And or miracles, right? So I just think the entire moral compass as an entire whole society, like I said, with taking into that capitalist, that the fact that money exists, and the fact, of course, you have to factor these things in, but at the end of the day, are you is society really doing everything in the best interest of their people? I do not believe that shit.
I don't think so. No.
Fuck no, right?
We wouldn't have wars and shit. We wouldn't have debt, stuff like that. We wouldn't have that if everything was in society's best interest. We wouldn't have a lot of things that issues that we have going on, like racial issues, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We wouldn't have that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then it was kind of something similar we talked about earlier. Was just it's just the dividing energy in general. The fact that society's really trying to put you against your fellow American, or your fellow person in society, just by trying to differentiate each other, instead of, saying that we're all fucking human at the end of the fucking day, right?
Yeah.
We all have an entire unique experience in itself, but trying to really section them out, whether it's race, whether it's political views, whether it's whatever it is, right? The fact that there's so much like conflict, I feel like that's fucked. That kind of contributes to that.
I think it's they force it conflict. Like there's stuff that I feel like there's conflict because of that is easily fixed, but they don't fix it. Like it's just like we run on conflict kind of a thing. Like we're
For
not
sure.
not. You would like to think everyone has everyone else's best interest in mind. No, that kind of comes with being an individual as a person too. You got to kind of worry about yourself. But there's certain things that are like, all right, I think we can, like the whole political thing with like divide it. Like why? Where the whole concept of it is you elect one person to take charge of a whole nation, and we all got to stand as one, right? The United States.
Yeah.
So why do we need to divide it in two different political
I don't know.
parties if we're all one United States? Why do we need to divide it like, oh, you have liberals, Republicans, Democrats, everything like that? Like, why? Why can't we just all come together as one kind of a thing?
Yeah, that kind of goes hand in hand with just my view of like restructuring. I think we should restructure the shit that's old in general. Of course, that's a conversation people aren't ready to have, but at least talking about the political stuff. I don't like to get into political stuff,
Yeah.
but like I said, do I think it should be restructured? Yeah, it's outdated. It's outdated. It's an outdated way to live, and I feel like the individual people should have a lot more of a say. Like I feel like, for example, like The Rock. I feel like he's one of those people that could really break the mold as far as becoming a president. I think
Yeah.
I think he could realistically do it.
I mean, my thing with that. Oh, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, and what I was gonna say is like just the mold in general of having. I'm not saying I'd advocate for the fucking rock is what I'm saying, right? But I'm saying like there should be somebody that has social influence to the point where if they ran for president, that they would be able to break the mold as far as the Democrat or Republican. I feel like it could be more of like we were talking about, just like the individual minded people
Yeah.
who actually have the best interest for the people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. My like, not same thing. Not saying I'm like a rock, whatever the next election year is, but like, man's come from poverty, so it's kind of like I feel like most of our presidents come from higher wealth as it is. Trump was that way. Pretty sure Biden was that way. I don't look too much into it, but like, have someone that's come from nothing.
fucking him. Can you smell what America is cooking? Him.
I can get behind that.
Him. You tell me. You tell me, my guy. You tell me. Fucking, that's funny as hell.
Like I feel like
I'm a campaign manager. Yes, sir. That's the boy right there. Yes.
got me convinced now.
Yeah, I'm on the boat for the rock, my boy. Let's get a rockin' now. You feel me?
I'm with it.
He said I'm with it.
Got my vote.
3 people in here. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Make sure you go and leave a comment. If there's any specific conspiracy theory you want us to talk about, make sure you go and leave it in the comments. Is there anything else? Is there anything more we want to touch on that?
Not really. I did kind of think of one. Hey, that's what we like to see, baby.
What's good, Tyler? What's good, man?
But like, kind of back on things that don't make too much sense to me is like the whole language thing. Like, why we have so many different languages? If we're all humans, we are all one species. Why do we have so many different languages? It's to make people different, but like,
Well,
why? Why can't we all just speak one singular language to be understanding of everyone?
that's a no. He has a valid point. He has a valid point in there. But if there's what I will say is this, right? Do I think most conflicts in general stem from the problem of lack of communication? 100%.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is gonna sound weird, but I was in the gas station getting gas the other day, right?
Sure.
Some dude was on the phone, and he was speaking Spanish. So I was like, I want to know what he's saying, but like, why can't I? Like, I know I can learn Spanish, but like, why can't we all just be one language so we can be a little bit more understanding of other people? Because like, even with like field of work, have someone come in trying to get a membership, they speak Spanish. I can't help them. I feel bad because I cannot help them.
Yeah, you obviously can't assist them. Come on now.
And then if they need something, I don't know how I can help them because I don't know what they need.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's just say, for example, because this is kind of going with what you're saying. I want to see if you would personally make the sacrifice. For example, let's just say right now, or let's just say at the age of 20, right, which is coming up for you, right? The age of 20, there's this mass movement in a few different countries that say we should all universally speak the same language, and that language is going to be Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to actually learn Spanish to have the body language is universal? Yes, and of course there's still going to be a barrier. Of course, and I'm sure you know that. Hold up, man. What the fuck is Tyler's comment? I think Tyler said something else. Do you know? Did you read what he said?
Nah.
Son of a bitch. Go ahead and make sure you go ahead and leave a comment as well, man. I think you had something else to say that was besides him. I just can't see it in the comment section. Let me see if I can refresh it. Why the fuck would it not have a live? Man, that man could have been saying mad shit on you, and you would never know.
That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
The dude in the gas station.
Yeah, he
That's
could have
what
been
he's
talking
getting
that
at.
shit.
He's
He could have been talking that shit realistically. But okay, so kind of going back. Let's just say there was like Spanish. Spanish is going to be the universal language that we're going to try to get everyone to speak moving on from this generation. Everybody's going to learn this certain language. And let's say the United States, Russia, that's fucking terrible. Like Africa, yeah, or like the entire continents, of course. Where like they came together, South America, you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
They came together and were like, you know what, let's speak all universal language. Let's teach it all to our new people as well. Are you willing to make that sacrifice and actually learn that?
Yes. The reason being is because I want to know what other people are saying. I like to have conversations with people, but there's a barrier between I can't have a conversation with you because I can't speak the language you're speaking. Like you go on like vacation somewhere. You go somewhere that doesn't speak your language. You are completely lost because all their signage is going to be in that one language, right? You don't know how to get around, and you can't ask people like, hey, how do I get to where I need to be? because they don't speak your language. Now, if we all spoke one language, it would make it so much easier, right? I know that's a big thing, but like, where in the past did it change from like going like ooh-ha, caveman type stuff to everyone like all these different areas speaking different languages? Why?
Well, it's just I think it's just cultural development, of course. Um, that's it's interesting for sure.
But I mean, even like in the English language, like there's different cultures. Like Mormons a little bit different than Christians, Catholics,
Yeah.
everything like that. So
Yeah.
where does the language change your religion kind of a thing? Or your like
That is a question that I do not have the answer to. But yeah, it's definitely interesting because, like I said, everything's just so diverse. Of course, like I said, I would say most of the world's conflicts would get better if there was a communication or less of a communication barrier, or rather, um, at least we all spoke one universal language. That would definitely help the situation maybe a little bit. But yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about that?
I mean, even on that, like in translation, things can get messed up, right?
That is true. What do you think about? There's conventions that are coming out to mitigate that barrier, though,
Yeah, I mean, like
which kind of like Google Translate and shit like that.
you can always lose stuff in translation. If you ever gone to Google Translate, right, and you translate something from English to Spanish.
Yeah, no, I fucking had to do that for Spanish.
Yeah, but like, and you change it to like multiple different languages. That first sentence that you started with can be completely different once you get to like Russian, right? When you translate it back to English, try it out. I swear, if you go to Google Translate right now, type in just a sentence and translate it to a bunch of different languages, it's gonna end out with something completely different.
Interesting. Yes, and I do agree. I do agree with you. That actually is real. That's
So-
real. That's some real shit.
So like, say we're sitting here having a conversation about some crazy business deal, right? Maybe we're big high entrepreneurs or something like that, but we speak completely different languages and we have two different interpreters, like one that speaks your language, one that speaks mine. Things can get messed up, things can get lost, right?
Yeah, and
Translation.
the entire message cannot be exactly properly stated as it was spoke.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Because the way you pronounce words, say words, different things like that can always change when it's translated.
Yeah, the meaning, of course.
Yeah, so if we all just had one language, we wouldn't have that issue.
That is true. That is true. I wonder if there's ever going to be a movement that's kind of like that, right? I feel like English is kind of that. Of course, not everybody speaks English, of course,
Yeah.
but I feel like there's some level of popular demand by it. And I'm not saying that because I'm American. I see other countries learning English just so they could speak with people that are from
Because
I'm from here, so
isn't it like
from-
more
yeah.
the population of the earth speaks English? Because you got like North America, Canada, like, well, I guess Canada's
Canada. Well, yeah, it is North America.
Like, Britain too, like the whole UK speaks English.
Yeah, but not. Well, yeah. I'd like to say, yeah, it's definitely. What is the most spoken language? What do you think? You think it's Spanish?
I think it might be English.
I don't know if it is. I feel like having that mindset's kind of naive.
I feel
don't
like
know.
it might not be, but like just because I guess I don't open up to like these people speak this language kind of thing.
Really?
What is it?
Make sure this shit's right. Chinese? I figured it would be something Asian. I would say,
Oh, I guess Asia's a big continent. That makes sense.
but it says English. Let's say English, my guy. Mandarin Chinese is the largest
Mandarin?
language in the world when it comes to only counting first language. Okay, but I think the most English is number one as far as the English and Mandarin are going to be very very
Yeah.
close for the top spot. That's the research that I've done in like 3 seconds. Interesting. Okay. So realistically, there's a better. There's obviously my example of it being Spanish was kind of, just fucking. I'm just throwing some shit out there.
Yeah.
All right. So let me go ahead and let's get into the next conspiracy theory. We're gonna talk about. Let's get into this because we didn't exactly get into it earlier, right? Let's talk about conspiracy theories with the social media
Mm-hmm.
that is there, right? Is there anything that you seem a little fishy when it comes to just that entire space of just constantly being on your phone and the apps that kind of go into why you're on your phone?
I wouldn't say it's fishy. It's definitely something that is true, and I agree with it. Is social interactions are completely different since social media, right? The way you talk to people and the way you present yourself, because you see someone on like Instagram, like, damn, I want to get like that. get a little bit more insecure about yourself, and now you're trying to be just like this person, right?
Okay.
And even just talking to people, right? Instead of like calling them, having a conversation with them, you just text them, right? Getting left on red, delivered, whatever it may be. If you,
Down terrible.
I'm just saying, just
Down terrible. No, I know exactly what you mean though. I'm just saying down terrible. If you getting left on red, fellas, hey, man.
hey man, happens to the best of us.
I know. Put her up in the chat. Put her up in the chat for that shit, my boy. Cause that shit, hey, like I said, hey, everybody, we all been there. We all been there, fellas. We all been there. Down terrible.
But like that whole like concept of like, oh, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, oh, I'm just gonna not. Right? If say we didn't have social media, the only way you communicate with people is seeing them in person. It makes it so much better, because the way, I don't know if you've ever noticed, if you're texting someone, like you can be texting them best conversation of your life. You meet them in person, they just talking to a fucking wall.
Yeah, for sure. No, I've had that happen to me.
So if we got rid of social media, you have more real interactions with people, because it's not like you can sit here and fucking twiddle your thumbs all day, texting and be like,
Yeah, I agree with you. It changed the way we communicate.
Yeah, exactly.
And the way our thoughts are about communication in general.
yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, the impulses to contact somebody is different. Like, for example, I could be like, I'm gonna message that person on Instagram. Or like, I want to get a hold of this person. I'm gonna go ahead and go through Instagram and go ahead and message them.
yeah.
That's like a different that's a different impulse when it comes to just thinking about talking to somebody or wanting to get into contact with somebody.
Yeah, like even like
Just like phones and shit, or like not like phone numbers and shit like that. That's obviously that's its own form.
yeah, like but like even just like interacting with people like in the real world, like, oh, it's so much easier for me to just be like, I've never like talked to you, like say we've never met before.
Okay.
It's so much easier for me to text you and say what I want to say, right? Than if I see you in person. Just because of the way social media is, it made it easier for you to have less social interactions person to person. Easier for me to just be like, oh, let me hit you up on Snapchat or Instagram, whatever it may be. Let me slide in the DMs, as you will.
Slide into DMs, fellas. Come on now.
Right? It's so much easier to do that than it is to just walk up and be like, hey, my name's Cameron. Nice to meet you. I saw you from across the room.
You saw, okay, what do you think?
I think that kind of fucked us all over.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure it did. It for sure it did. Of course, there's advantages of this, of course, but yeah. So for my personal opinion, when it comes to social media phishing, which is not really, it's not. This is a known thing in society, and the craziest part about it is it's a known thing, but there's no. Okay, I would say no. There's a very small movements that kind of go hand in hand with either the reversal of this or the suppression of it in general. Which is going to be like, obviously, you have the software developers that are designing apps strategically to keep you on the app longer, whether this is TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is. Obviously, they want you to be on their platform as long as you possibly can be. And there's going to be types of manipulation that kind of go hand in hand with that. So this is not something that is exactly fishy. We know about this, but yet people don't care. They don't care enough, and the opportunity cost, sacrificing it or being on the shit, like they're not even thinking twice of saying, no, I'm not gonna be on this. They're not even thinking twice when in reality you should definitely.
Yeah, I mean, how many people waste so much time on like TikTok and stuff?
Exactly, and then it also trickles down to like your mental health problems as well. Obviously, there's studies that support that social media or the development of social media decreases your mental health. Yeah, sure.
I mean, that's where it comes from. Like looking at like Instagram, right? You see all these people. Like, say you follow like, as we work out, right? You follow people that work out consistently. Maybe they're juicing a little bit. They look a little bit better than you, right?
Okay.
You see them all day. You're like, damn, I want to get like that. Why can't I do that? Then you feel a little bit more insecure about yourself, and that's where the mental health thing comes in, because it's like you see people you want to be looking like all the time, or like looking at girls that you want to be with, but oh, I have no shot, kind of a thing. It's like, damn, it just kind of like,
Or you shoot your shot in the DMs and get no response, get left on red.
yeah, exactly.
Like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Down
Like,
terrible, fellas. Come on now.
I'm chilling.
I'm chilling.
I'm just doing me, but
Go ahead.
that's where the mental health thing comes out. That's why everyone's, oh, mental health issues. It's because of social media, but no one wants to do anything about it because it's a distraction from life, because you can just go see what everyone else is doing. Why don't you just talk to someone like, oh shit, like, oh, you did that? Not, oh, I saw you posted the other day that you were doing this. Like, have real social interaction. That's talking to people is gonna boost your mental health.
Facts.
Looking at social media, seeing people, oh damn, they're in Bora Bora. I want to go there. Nah.
Exactly right though.
It just that's why the mental health thing is so big because social media is huge.
Yeah, it's definitely like I said, people just don't even think twice. Um, do I personally believe that we should do something to somewhat combat it? I would say yes. The thing that I've done personally in my life to do this, and this is something that I'm going to maintain and something that I've been recently developing as a habit is going the first few hours of my day without being on my phone. It allows me to really focus in and exactly. Of course, there's going to be exceptions to the rule where you're not going to be able to do this, whether you have to go to work exactly when you wake up or whatever the fuck, right? But if you can just go the first few hours of your day without being on him, you're actually spitting fucking facts,
I mean, he's
OG.
not wrong.
You're spitting facts, my guy. Give me a second. Where the fuck was I even at? What was I talking about, Cam?
You're talking about like not being on your phone for the first.
Oh yeah. So okay. So what I developed is this. At least the first 3 hours of my okay, if I had the most successful day, I'm going the first 3 to 5 hours of my day without being on my phone. And especially, I'm not talking to nobody right now. I'm not talking to anybody right now. So this shit way easier than what it could be for sure. But it's just he was spitting fucking facts. Let's get into that. Let's get into that. Right. Social media is a tool abused by the government to distract the masses. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I'll go ahead and say I agree. I agree. Another thing I want to get into with that is, do you think sports is also a distraction? That's something that I was like, fuck that, man. Ain't no fucking way. I heard about that shit. I was like, ain't no fucking way. I don't want that to be true, but it low key is a distraction. Stirring to the point where they divide and mean.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's fucking spitting
Yes,
facts.
man.
This is why we needed you in this fucking podcast, my guy. Hey, if you want to come on the next time we talk about conspiracy theories, me, you, and Cam, let's fucking get it rocking, big dog. Let's get it rocking. That should be lit. Oh, so okay, Cam, what do you think about what he says?
He's not wrong, right?
Okay.
I mean, social media is a big thing. When it comes to like stirring the pot, like you said, it stirs the pot, right? I mean, I know this is a big thing that just happened a few years ago. The whole George Floyd thing. I was talking to a couple friends about this the other night, right?
Okay.
Social media wasn't a thing. I don't think it'd be as big of a deal, right?
No, for damn sure.
Right.
Damn sure.
And I'm not talking down on it. I'm just saying the whole concept of that whole situation is a little iffy to me because yes, the cop was in the wrong. I'm not saying he should have done what he did. I'm just saying they took it too far, right? This man, he's got a statue, right? And he was a criminal, drug abuser.
Okay.
Now, if he was like some like rights activist type guy, like peacefully preaching kind of a thing, and that happened, I understand completely everything going on. Yes, but with the person that he was, you know why they stopped him, right? He was using fake money to buy stuff.
Okay.
You're gonna give that kind of a person a statue because of what happened?
Obviously it means a lot. The person itself means a lot more. It's obviously more symbolic than just the person, which I'm sure. Well, yeah, no, for sure. I understand. Okay. So do you think they made it more specifically individualized rather than like the entire grand message? I feel like everybody that was preaching on it was preaching a bigger message than just George Floyd. He just happened to be the example of something that went way wronger than what it should have been. Here's the thing. I guess that's the only way. It depends your mindset, and I could totally see your point of view and why you have that mindset. But like I said, obviously for me, I think it's more symbolic, rather than actually like praising George Floyd.
Yeah.
He's not getting praised now, right? It's for awareness. It's for a grander cause than just himself. But I get what you're saying when you said they have a statue of him. Like okay. His movement did something. He didn't
Yes.
do anything
Yes.
realistically, right?
Exactly.
The movement that he started did something.
Mm-hmm.
Which of course, I support that for sure.
Yeah,
'Cause
definitely.
the shit,
I do.
obviously, that shit was out of fucking pocket, my
Yeah.
G, out of pocket.
I've seen it firsthand, like the way even just the way cops interact with people of color. I've seen it firsthand, where it's like,
It's excessive.
yeah, it's more fucked up than like if I would have got stopped for the same situation someone I know did, it would have gone completely different.
Yeah.
But that is an issue. I'm not saying it's not an issue. I'm just saying, going back to the whole social media thing, if we didn't have social media, say it was back 40 years ago, we ain't got social media, that happens, do you think us in Arizona would hear about, because it was in Wisconsin,
I couldn't tell you, my
Oh.
guy. I couldn't tell you honestly.
I know it didn't happen here. If social media wasn't a thing, we would not know it was.
I would say I do agree with you in the extent I don't think it'd be the movement obviously wouldn't be as big because you wouldn't be able to. You could do that, but it would be a lot harder to do replicate that exact thing though. That happened the entire movement. Also, can we talk about the fact that the social media, you can be talking about something
That shit.
That's fucked up. By
I
the way.
hate that. That.
There's a
bothers
way.
me.
I'm sure there's a way you can turn that shit off on your fucking phone. Like keep it 1,000, would you, my G?
Yeah.
Or get rid of the apps that do that. I think I try to minimize that, but yeah, it's the frequency and that happening. Obviously, you kind of first became aware of that when people were posting about it, in general, right? And then you're like, does this shit actually is that really what the fuck that is? And then you see time and time again where there's an example of that, and that right there, kind of what he was going towards, right? It's just more smoke.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more smoke, my guy. Or I think it gets lost in the smoke. Matter of fact, lost in the fucking sauce, my guy. That is something that we should be talking about a lot more. That should not be fucking happening with privacy and shit like that.
Nah, and it's not like they ask your permission for it. Like
Well, they probably low-key in the fucking
In the
terms
fine
and condition, the fine print. Yeah, it's not like explicit. Like, hey, by the way, we're going to listen to you. So if you don't want us to listen to you, go ahead and turn that shit off. It's not like that. It's subtle. It's a subtle thing, and of course that leads into the consumerism and the capitalist mindset of the fucking apps and shit, which, like I said, it's not in your best interest, my guy. It's in their best interest.
Mhm.
Fucked up. It's fucked up, my guy.
Yeah, like with that, it was one night I was talking to my parents. I was like, damn, I really wanted ice cream. So I was like, there's a Sonic right around the corner from my house. We'll go get some ice cream. And I was like, you know what? I don't feel like driving. I go open up Instagram, go down three posts.
That's it.
Got an ad for Sonic. I was like, Sonic ice cream ad right here. It's a little weird.
Boy, got that deja vu, my guy. I've seen this before now. Shit, thought about it before at least.
I said, that ain't supposed to be there.
Yeah, here's the thing. They're just too. You can't say okay. Of course, there could be a situation that happens that was like, coincidentally happening. Too many damn coincidences for it to be just another coincidence, right?
Yeah, I was talking about Sonic ice cream. 5 minutes later, get an ad for it. I'm like,
come on now, big fella.
I was like, come on.
I don't believe that shit.
That don't add up. That don't add up.
Yeah, it's fucked. Heem, I want to know your opinion on that as well. I think, like I said, it is just smoke. But I want to go back to what he's saying. So he thinks that there's a distracted, obviously, the masses being distracted by certain things, of course. I feel like I guess you could say that's another thing. I would say that's another thing. Clickbait posts, news articles, attention-grabbing headlines. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. I guess, it is just what's more intriguing at the end of the day. What's more intriguing, what's going to really attract my attention. Obviously, I said it on one of my reels, attention is the currency of today in general, not only with women, but with, I think, just society in general. Whatever you spend your focus on and what you have your attention on is the currency of today. That's ultimately going to give you everything. Like I said, if you're able to attract a audience or can get the attention of many people, you're going to have more leverage in this life anyways.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's a currency. So what do you think about that?
No, that's like 100% true. Right? Why do you think people are doing things like TikTok, for example?
Goofy shit.
Them shit.
Goofy shit.
The longest you can do is a minute. People's attention span ain't last so long. So you got to catch them in the first, like, oh, I got them. Once you got their attention, then they go, what other stuff do you have?
Come on now.
I didn't think attention is more. Yeah.
I got you with the game, my guy. I got you with the game, my guy.
You're not. I mean, that's true though. Like, attention is more important than just straight money now. Because if you get someone's attention, that's where
attention can bring you money.
Yeah.
Attention can bring you multiple things. Exactly.
Yeah.
Influence in general.
Yeah, I mean, there's a kind of, I don't know if it makes sense in my head, but like OnlyFans.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Hey, the only reason I bring that up is because it's the attention, right? That can bring you money, right?
I gotta have a toxic button on this motherfucking fucking board. I'll tell you that. Just for this moment, my guy. Yeah, but okay. Hold on. You said TikTok.
TikTok. I said OnlyFans.
She belongs to the street.
Fellas, let's get the fuck out of here. She belongs to the streets if she fucking doing that shit. But yeah, obviously I get what you're saying, right? Attention is the currency of today. So, okay, going back to what I was saying, right? What the fuck was I saying, actually? What was I saying, Cam? When I was referring to him? I want to know your opinion on fucking, man, Him, you got to go rewatch that shit, my guy. I fucking totally forgot, honestly. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. You're going to have to go back and rewatch that shit. It was good. It was good conversation. It was good conversation. Just know that.
And I fucked it up with the OnlyFans.
Yeah, I know. Hit him with the OnlyFans fucking. My G.
Hey, hit me up on Feet Finder.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
EOS ain't paying the bills no more. I got different options.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
If only that could actually work, my guy.
I'm just kidding. It's just a joke.
It's just a joke. All right. So the next thing I want to get into is, well, first, do you have anything else you want to talk about regarding the social media conspiracy?
Nah, I just think it's a waste of time, and they definitely use it to sway people's opinion on things.
Okay, I agree. Did we ever finish the conversation about the ads and shit? We finished that, right?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part.
Yeah, okay.
They be listening. They're listening right now. Have you seen
What
people?
the fuck? Cam, what's on your mind, my G? What are you spending your attention on, my guy?
My attention?
No, I'm saying based off of his fucking thing. You see what he said?
Not anymore. Back in the day, yeah.
He
Now,
said back in the day.
now I just work and work out. That's what I spend my attention on.
Fair enough. Oh shit. He says something otherwise. My boy.
Don't. I'll go there.
Hey, no, relax, my guy. Relax, my guy.
Just
All right. Another thing I want to get into is going to be. All right, let's get into this. Right, let's get into the. Yeah, let's get deep. Right, the ocean, my guy.
Nah, fuck the ocean.
All right, conspiracy theories regarding the ocean. First, if you guys are in here right now, we got 4 people in here. If you have anything you want us to talk about in specific when it comes to conspiracy theories, make sure you leave it. Make sure you leave it in the comments. Heem the dream, my boy. You already know what time it was. All right, so getting into what we're talking about, right? Ocean conspiracy theories, right? Do you believe there's any fishy things going on in the ocean, my guy?
First of all, love the play on words on that.
That's what I'm saying, my guy. It's like right off the dome, my guy. Right off the dome, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, most definitely. They're.
Okay, what's the fishy thing? What do you think? What do you think is specifically fishy about that?
We got 5% of the ocean discovered.
Maybe, roughly, probably.
That's
Might even be less than that.
That's-
That's the fucked up part, right? It might even be less than that, right? I heard it was like 3%, which is fucked up, by the way. I hope it's 5%. He's a fact checker. Cam's a fact checker in this fucking video. Come on now.
You did it once earlier, so I had to figure.
Come on now.
More than 80% of the ocean has never been mapped, explored, or even seen by humans. 80%. That.
Even seen by humans. So even when you're in a plane, you're not really seeing that much ocean.
Ain't
that fucked up?
Only,
No fucking way, bro. Oh my god.
only 5% of the ocean has been explored and charted by humans. 5%. So there's 80% we haven't even seen. You tell me it's only fish and seaweed. No, there's shit going on down there.
Exactly, I agree with you. There's some shit going on, big dog. I tell you that for damn sure. All right. The first thing I want to talk about, right, was this right here. So I'm gonna give you give you a champ conspiracy theory. Something that I think there's a very, very strong possibility, and if you do your research, no matter in specifically where you look, shit could happen, right? Okay, so I think that there's aliens that are in our oceans. I think they either land there, and at the end of the day, I think it'd be a better solution than landing on land, right? Especially if you can, I'm sure if they're intelligent enough, they'll be able to manipulate their environment. So if it is in water, they can either figure out a way to breathe underwater, or maybe they don't even need to leave their fucking little ship, right? Whatever it is. I just think that. And I've heard that there's UFOs and things like that crashing into the water that were like tracked when they were obviously above the water, and then they go into the water. That's like a place that they go to hide. I think that's interesting. What do you think about that, Arthur?
So now, what do you consider alien? That's something like not from this world, or is it like we don't know what the fuck that is?
We don't know what the fuck that is.
So there's most definitely got to be some alien underwater, right?
Well, I'm not saying like okay, that's like I'm saying unearthly.
Oh, okay. So like,
I'm not saying like oh like a fucking I don't know like octopi big as the fucking moon damn near. They're just called octopi. Okay, that was okay. Okay, we'll get into that. We'll get into that, right? Um, yeah. So, do you think that there's anything? Do you think there's any aliens, potentially aliens, not from this world, that are in the ocean?
it would make the most sense then.
Or better yet, maybe a civilization more advanced than ours that has already been there, and we came after them.
Aquaman.
Aquaman, Atlantis, my boy. No, but on some serious shit, there could be you don't who the fuck knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
There could be a civilization more advanced than us that were on Earth at one point, made their way to the ocean, and decided to stay there. And of course, we came right after them, so we're less advanced.
I would think. Yeah, I mean that.
There could be that. Hey, that would you say that there's a higher possibility of that happening than aliens, realistically? Shouldn't you think that there's a higher possibility?
I'm gonna. Okay, so I think.
Come on,
I think there's a higher possibility of aliens. Why? Because if what they say about the universe is correct, that shit is endless. It doesn't stop. It keeps going. You're telling me we are the only planet
no,
that has life? No, fuck no. Don't. If you believe that, no.
you're
Well,
cracked out, my guy.
I think there's a higher possibility of that than maybe. I'm not saying it's not possible, but like there's definitely something going on in the ocean.
For damn sure.
There ain't
Fishy, like I said, really fishy, my guy, really fishy. So yeah, like I said, I believe that shit. If you're gonna hide anywhere, you might as well hide on like 90% of what actually exists on Earth.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I was just throwing that shit out there, but like, I don't know how much of the fucking Earth is actually just ocean, but I know majority of it's ocean. So why not land there?
that, and apparently we've only discovered 5% of it.
Fuck that.
There's 80% that hasn't even been seen by humans.
I don't. How the fuck does that even like? Is that even a real thing? Like, so like you're telling me people that fly on planes, they see like a small portion, a very very small portion
You're
of the
only seeing
entire
the top,
ocean.
You're only seeing the top. When you're on a plane, you only see the top of the water.
Realistically, yes, but okay. Obviously, you see the top of the water, but imagine you only see such a small amount. Obviously, of course, under the ocean as well. But I'm just saying, talk about just seeing. Talk about underwater as well.
Yeah, I think that's what I think it implies, like underwater. Obviously, we've seen like the top of the ocean. Apparently, I don't fucking know.
Have we?
Shit, I'm fucking.
Shit, he said, I hope so, baby. I hope so.
I hope so, but like, I think when it brought that into like consideration, we've only seen 80%. That means like under the water, like surface, we've probably seen a good all of it, but like
Who knows,
under,
right? Who knows? There's a lot of it, my guy.
under, shit, that shit goes forever and
Forever, forever. That's what it seems like, at least. All right. Another thing with you talking about the ocean, right? I like to talk about certain things that realistically could be a possibility, but outside of aliens, right? So first, do you have any come off the top of your dome when it comes to potential that something actually exists in the ocean? What do you think?
yeah. I mean, there's
Go ahead. Maybe it's something we talked about earlier. Maybe it's something that you came up on your own. What do you think?
I think there's things living down there that we don't even have the ability to comprehend how they live there. Like if you go depths of the ocean, deepest part, there's shit that probably lives there that we're like, how? There's no light. There's no nothing. It is the pressure's ungodly.
Ungodly.
It is cold. Shit, think about the volcano sharks. No?
Fuck no. Fuck no. Oh my god, I hope that shit's not real.
There was like a volcano and there was like sharks coming out of it. Or like they were like in it. But it was like a volcano, so that shit's hot.
Yeah, so they just adapted to fucking saying like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, but how do they adapt so quickly?
Maybe they didn't.
Maybe they came out the volcano.
Maybe they are the volcano, my guy. Almost now. He said,
Yo, real quick, where's the urination station?
yeah, just go out right there to the left, my guy, right there.
I'll be back in a minute.
All right. So I'll go ahead and hold it down. I'll hold it down for the fellas. All right. I'm gonna get into a few things, and I want to know the chat's point of view as well. Right. Well, first, do you think there's anything fishy? Answer that question. Answer that question yourself. Do you think there's anything fishy that's going on in the ocean that we don't exactly know of, right? Or conscious of, rather. One thing that I like to talk about, I'll get into this a little bit while he's gone. So I do think that there is potential for there to be dinosaurs or some prehistoric beings or life forms, whatever you want to call it, right? Prehistoric species of animal that could be in the ocean. Obviously, like we discussed earlier, 80% of it hasn't even been seen by the human eye or even cameras or anything like that. So with that being said, I do believe, and I was told this story, and I looked into it a little bit after, but I had this story told to me where it was by my 7th grade science teacher. Shout out to Mr. McGee, my guy. He was legendary. Best storyteller that I've ever had in my entire life. That I've seen personally. Maybe it's been a minute, but for the most part, I don't think I've ever have been told a story by another person that's been like, wow, that's just memorable. But going back to what I was saying, he talked about this one concept, or not really concept, this one story that came out. I think it's within the Asian countries, maybe Japan, maybe China, maybe something like that. They were fishing, and when they were fishing, they brought in the net, and in the net they had I don't know what the fuck it's called, a type of dinosaur that had a body that was decomposing. Obviously one of the ones that are in the ocean. I don't know. But the body was decomposing, so that means that it didn't die, or it died recently rather, and it wasn't already dead for thousands, millions of years, whenever dinosaurs were extinct. So I do think that there could be potential dinosaurs, like I said, prehistoric species of animal, species, whatever you want to call it, right? That could be potentially living down in the ocean, right? Another thing I want to talk about, which as Cam's entering here, I want to talk about. Let's talk about megalodons for a second, my guy. So you got megalodons as a potential, in the ocean. Do you think that could be a real thing? Do you think that's something that they already died out? What do you think?
How could they die? I mean, the only thing that could kill them would be food source. But the ocean's full of shit.
Full of shit that we don't know, like we said earlier. Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, obviously this is a different breed of shark, right? And probably even more, obviously more deadly. But if I'm not mistaken, sharks don't stop growing ever. I think they grow out throughout their entire life, which is why they have the regeneration of their teeth.
Yeah, and why they're immune to like certain diseases like cancer and stuff, because they keep growing.
That's fuck. Oh my god. Okay, so you do believe that they potentially can exist?
Yes.
Okay. So my personal opinion on that, I do believe that they can exist. I do believe that they might exist. My evidence that supports that is, my evidence, right? I heard about this tracker where they put trackers on the biggest sharks that are ever caught. Maybe you can.
Yeah, I've heard about that too. Yeah.
I seen it on TikTok.
Yeah, that one guy.
That one guy, probably the same guy. Probably the same guy.
And one turtle.
What'd you say?
The dude who's like, we're tracking sharks and one turtle.
I didn't hear about the fucking one turtle. That's lit though.
You didn't.
Maybe it was
we're
probably
talking about a different guy then.
It could be just a different video. But basically they track sharks, the biggest sharks that are in the ocean that have been caught. And they track exactly where they go, why they go a certain place, and from there was a few sharks, if I'm not mistaken, that were moving at a pace, or they got to a place way quicker than they should have ever been tracked. They could have either been eaten or whatever it is, but at the end of the day, there's something fishy with that. That's like, why are they either going to that extent, or why are they going to that place, or why do they have the same pattern of behavior? Maybe they're scared off. Who knows?
Yeah, so that I bet I've seen that TikTok. I don't know if we're talking about the same guy, but he's like, we're tracking sharks and one turtle.
One fucking turtle, my guy.
But look, there's an app. There's an app you can get that literally tracks sharks. Now, this is another conspiracy we can get into. If you look at the pattern of sharks, they move up and down the coastlines, right?
Sure.
Because water, temperature, stuff like that. Because they're cold blooded, they move up and down the coastlines. Every once in a while, watch the tracker. They all the way out here, like in the middle of the ocean.
That's what I was referring to. Yeah.
For what reason? And then they just all of a sudden just gone. Like they're not tracked anymore. Where the fuck you going? Why do you?
He said, "Where you going, baby? Where you going?"
Why you watch? Like you can watch the line. They just do this up and down the coastline, and then all of a sudden they're out here gone. But like the how fast they go from coastline to the middle of the ocean, same thing. How the fuck you move that damn fast? And then they're not tracked
almost
anymore.
Doesn't make sense.
And then they're not tracked anymore after that.
Sounds a little
Fishy to me.
Fishy for damn sure. Yeah, that's like I said, we were kind of pretty much hitting on the same point, but you explain it. It's hard to deny the existence of, well, not megalodons, I guess, but
Something out
just something fucking bigger that can destroy the biggest fucking sharks in the ocean.
that and like the Bermuda Triangle, same thing.
Fuck.
They'll like swim.
Oh, I haven't heard about
coastline
that shit.
And then go Bermuda, and then they'll be gone. Same thing. Or they'll just be like, they'll go here, and then they're here, and then like the speed that they're back, or like the speed that they go out there, the Bermuda Triangle, the same thing as like the depths of the ocean. They'll be up and down the coastline. They'll have like be tracked, and then all of a sudden they're out here and just gone. Yeah, sharks don't just disappear.
All right, I'm convinced that there's a fucking portal to another universe somewhere
In the Bermuda Triangle?
Who the fuck knows, my guy?
Wasn't there that one airplane that just completely like was flying through there that is never like they have no evidence of where the hell it went?
Yeah. Who the fuck knows, my guy? You ever see that one movie? What the fuck was it, my guy? Oh my god. Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Where they're obviously flying to a place,
And then
it's like it's completely different. And then you're fucking in the Amazonian.
Yeah.
With a lot of women right there. Maybe there's some shit like that. Who the fuck knows, right?
How do I get there?
He said, "How do I get there?"
Hey, Mom, just kidding.
He will go out. He will go out your head.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
All right, but going back to what he said, right? Octopi. Okay. Obviously they're fucking ridiculous as like they could fit through like a hole like this big, their entire body. Ridiculous. Obviously transform, change the texture of their skin, color, all that shit. That is damn near alien. That's for sure. But
It's gotta be.
it's gotta be, dude. It's gotta be. It's fucking something, my guy. It's something.
Like, cause you've seen that video of like the octopus they caught on a boat, and then the dude's like, "Nah, watch, he's gonna fit through a hole. Hole's like this big. Octopus is good size. It's a big octopus. It fits through like a hole like this. They don't have skeletons. How the
Look at him. Oh, he saved your ass. Like I said, if you just go back, quarter-sized holes.
Exactly.
That doesn't even make any sense, my guy. Yeah, that shit right there is that's crazy, my guy. It's crazy.
It's a little fishy.
Fishy, my guy. That's what I'm saying, though. All right. Another thing I want to talk about when it comes to the ocean, which we did talk about this on the last podcast. If you watched the Conspiracy Theory podcast, probably maybe only one of you guys watched it, but mermaids. We're going to get into the mermaids, right? So before this, I said in my last video that I do believe in mermaids. And the only reason I believed in mermaids is because I watched this one documentary that was on Animal Planet a few years back in 2013, and it was something that was discontinued.
Like instantly, right?
Yeah, I want to say they deleted majority of the footage. I can't find it anywhere, besides YouTube, honestly. It was called Mermaid. What the fuck was it? I heard. I remember the real evidence, but the new evidence. That's what it's called. Mermaids, the new evidence. So if you guys want to look it up, you can go ahead and look it up. But there was this one video, or set of videos rather, that kind of showed what potentially could be the best evidence if you wanted to make an argument for the existence of mermaids. I showed Cameron that video for the first time in his whole life today, earlier before the podcast. Cameron, what do you think about that video?
I think it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with like something underwater that we ain't got existence of yet. It goes back to like could you ask me, do you think there's some sort of alien type species that's underwater? Yes. Alien being, we don't know what it is. It's not from here.
Well, mermaids could be from here, maybe. I don't fucking know. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. It could be, but it could not be, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you take it the route of evolution, right? They say we evolved from monkeys.
Right? Well, realistically, that kind of be what I was talking about earlier, though.
Yeah, like, and then was it lizards or snakes evolved from one of some reptile evolved from fish, right? So fish started growing legs. Or is it frogs? I don't fucking know. So
amphibians,
something like that. So they
evolved, something like that.
They evolved from fish, and now they're on land. Who's to say we weren't the same way, right? We evolved from monkeys. If you're going that route, if you believe,
or maybe we came from fish too.
Yeah, right. But what if we?
Who the fuck actually
monkeys?
Knows, my guy?
Oh, water. We can live in the water, and they evolved to live in water.
Another thing we want to talk about is this. Do you hear about that one GDP? What's good, my guy? What's good? Appreciate you stopping by. You hear about that? What the fuck was it? What were you just talking about, my guy?
Mermaids and like evolution type stuff.
Okay, going back to evolution, right? There is, I think they're I want to say that they're an African tribe that's kind of away from society that are able to somehow, some way, breathe underwater for like ungodly amounts of times and go in deep down. Obviously, evolution kind of gave them the advantages to do that, whether it's killing off the people that obviously were not meant for that shit.
Yeah.
Natural selection kind of goes hand in hand with that, but even something like that is kind of an example. If you could do something extraordinary when it comes to that, you're fucking damn near a fucking mermaid at that fucking point. If you can be under like, I know there's people that can be under that like 10 minutes, like.
Yeah, like.
Or you're fucking insane, my guy.
Did you watch that documentary? There's some dude. It's like the world's deepest pool. I don't know how deep it is. It's fucking deep, and it's just a tube that just goes down. And some dude free dove, no oxygen tank, no protective gear, just straight to the bottom. Pressure should have killed him. Lack of oxygen should have killed him. You get people with that same kind of ability over time. You kind of do isolate yourself with just people that like that. You train like that kind of a thing.
You're making an elite level human being.
Yeah.
You're making an elite level human being, honestly.
Damn near superhero.
Yeah, and yeah, kind of the kind of thing we talked about earlier, which I referred to a little earlier. So it was basically, mermaids, for example. What if they were somewhere in the human evolution, right? Who the fuck actually knows, right? But let's just say for conversation's sake that they are, right? They're in a differently evolved species of whatever that went into the ocean, kind of like I said, kind of like what I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know if they're would you consider that would be considered alien? I guess. No, they're from fucking here. We're more alien than they are, essentially, right?
I mean,
who the fuck knows? All right, we're gonna get into another one. We're getting into another one. We're getting too deep into that shit. Yeah, that's the next one.
I was about to say.
That's the next one, actually.
He actually brought it up before we even thought about it.
GDP, appreciate it for stopping by. All right, we're gonna get into it. Antarctica. All right. So when it comes to Antarctica, Cam, obviously we can't go there, man.
Yeah.
Unless we're like a researcher or something.
You have to be sent by the government.
An important person. Let's just say that nonetheless. Because like I said, if they're sending you to Antarctica, you know, it's for a reason. Right? So Cam, us regular civilians, we can't do that, man.
Mm-mm.
Why is that?
We kind of talked about this earlier, right? It's something that I don't know if I believe in, but it's a concept that like I thought when I first heard it, that's so false, that's so stupid. But like, if you think about it a little bit more, it's possibly true. The whole ice wall thing, right? That.
Yeah, the ice wall. Yep.
I ain't supporting Kyrie with the world is flat, Earth is flat.
He said he went back on his shit and said, you know, I believe it's I believe it's around. But honestly, dead ass, I don't believe that shit.
I'm not saying I don't know what I believe. Right, is what I'm getting to, but that the world is surrounded by an ice wall, and that's Antarctica, North Pole, but it's the exact same thing. The way it loops around. They don't want us seeing over it. They don't want us to know what's on the other side. At first, when I heard it, I was like, that shit's fucking stupid. And then you think about it more, it's like, oh.
Well, here's the thing you need to take into account as well. Also, how do they write it up for us? What is their explanation? Oh, it's just a desert. That's what you can kind of call it. It's a desert. It's just an ice desert.
Yeah.
That's all we're told about that shit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. I don't believe that.
That goes back
because there was potential. There was life there. You know that, right?
Yeah, there's like
there was life there.
Yeah.
They recovered like animal species and shit. That was fucking life, bro. Like,
yeah. But like that goes back to kind of what we were talking about earlier, the way government shapes what we're supposed to believe, right?
Yeah.
The only pictures we have of the world are from like satellites that were supposed to be like, oh yeah, this is the government said this is true, this is how it is. What if there's something on like I'm just food for thought. Not saying this is what I believe. Yeah. I'm just saying like what if it is an ice wall, right? That just surrounds this land that we live in, that we call Earth. What if there's stuff on the other side that they don't want us to know about? So they're like, oh, so here's a picture of what the Earth looks like. It's a circle. There's stuff outer space. What if in reality it's actually the ice wall and there's stuff on the other side that we're not supposed to know about? That's maybe where aliens come in because they're things from the other side coming over Just saying.
Or maybe it's just there's so many things we can go off on this, but like, or maybe have you heard of the theory that it's and I want to know if your guys' opinion on this as well. If you're in the comments, the idea that if there was a flat Earth, whatever, there's a firmament that kind of goes over the entire thing. That's like a dome, essentially. You've seen this play out in many different movies. I want to say The Simpsons even had a similar type idea, and I want to say this is also something that is repeated within religion, different types of religion, where they believe that there's this firmament over a landmass that is flat.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say the Bible said something about the Earth being round too. I don't fucking know. I'm not a religious person, but this is the type of shit that I've seen in other religions where there's like literally a dome shape. And here's the thing, man. If you're trying to distract everybody from what's around them, how about just give them the information to the things they can see, whether that's, outer space or maybe just the ocean. Maybe it's just a master plan to distract us from what's on the outside of what is known in existence. I know that shit got deep. That shit got deep, fellas. Who the fuck knows? We just talking right now, but it's just like Cam said, food for thought.
I mean, I wouldn't count it out like, nah, there's no fucking way that's true. I mean, we don't know. We only know what we are told by what? Oh, school. What is school? Government.
Exactly. Who the fuck knows, my guy? Who the fuck knows? Like I said, we know as much as they want us to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's keep it 1,000. Let's keep it 1,000, right? Hey.
Oh, did you hear about the thing, the dude who figured out how to make cars run on just water?
Oh yeah, we can talk about that one. I can't believe I even thought about that shit. So okay, explain it the best to your ability, and then I'm gonna see if I can explain it.
So first of all, the only reason I brought that up is because it's like they only want us to know what we're supposed to know. So
Yeah.
this dude, I don't remember how long ago it was. I heard this thing that some dude figured out how to make a car run on just water, right? Doesn't need gas, doesn't need oil, literally just needs water.
It was a couple gallons of water, right?
Yeah, it was like a couple gallons of water and you could drive your car. It was like after he published hey, I figured this shit out. He randomly just died. And it wasn't it was the way he died was what?
If I'm not mistaken,
is it cool if I look this up?
yeah, go ahead and look it up.
Okay.
But if I'm not mistaken, because I did hear a little bit about this conspiracy as well, he was poisoned. He drank a thing that was poisoned, and I think one of his last words, it was something along the lines of this. It was like, they poisoned me, or they want to kill me, something like that. There was something to that effect that was his last said words, right? So that is something that is interesting as well. Maybe there's things like that would, like I said, obviously, you have something like that. I want to say the oil businesses actually have contributed to why that went away as well. Because if you were actually able to do that, they're obviously out of business. They don't exactly. Hey, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I said, what do you specifically mean by that? By the way, is it like they don't want anyone to know what's underneath it? Are you talking about the ocean? Or maybe, yeah. You have to comment on that.
I can't find anything on it.
If we're gonna talk about random deaths, why nobody talking about Trump's wife, mom dying right for him? I'm not educated in that shit, right? When it comes to politics, she's like, I could give a shit less. Kind of, but of course I hear some shit as well. I've heard that there was a passing, of course. I want you to, if you can inform me in a comment, please inform me. That is an interesting thing when brought up with random deaths, for sure. That's all we could talk about, the conspiracy theory. All the people that died. Who knows if they're dead? I don't want to get into that shit. Maybe another podcast if you guys want to hear that shit.
Bro, so I looked this up, right?
Okay.
I looked it up. I can't find anything. Yeah.
Ain't no fucking way.
How stepping away from football is bringing Bronco, some dude.
What do you mean? What did you look it up on?
Google. I looked it up. It said
that shit happened, fellas. Here's the thing, Google's not even gonna be able to fucking have it. Who the fuck is gonna give us the knowledge?
Bro, look at it. Massive sinkhole, stepping away from football, some movie.
All right there.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's on
There's a
YouTube.
video.
It's still on YouTube.
But you look up news articles on it. There's nothing there.
Interesting. Who the fuck wouldn't write a news article on that shit?
That's what I'm saying. And then look, a brief history of more than 30 music formats. That's not even remotely close to what I looked up. You can't find news articles. There's nothing on here. There's literally only YouTube videos. this right here, I started reading this, and it basically it's pointless. Like I started.
So I want to say, okay, rereading what I just said, it was something that got brought back up as a conspiracy theory. When TikTok was a thing. That's what I read in the very, very short amount of time that I read. But yeah, that is something that who the fuck knows, man. Did he do it? Maybe he did. And if he did it, that's a weird way to die, my guy. Weird way to die. It was intentional. It was a hitman.
98 is when he did it.
1998?
1998.
No, fuck. I thought it was way before that. I thought it was 60s.
No, 98. That's what that article said. It was in
Fellas.
98.
How the fuck does not more people talk about this shit?
Wait, where do we get our news from?
Government.
Why can't we find any articles on it? You think that'd be a pretty big deal, right? Electric cars.
Should be.
Electric cars, that's a big deal. Why? Because they make money off electricity.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It is. Like I said, it's fishy, my guy. A little fishy, right? Cam's like, what the fuck's going on?
Bro, we got electric cars. Everybody knows about that. Why? Because they profit off the sale of electricity.
Yeah, because if obviously you're not gonna make so much money off water, selling water. People do it, of course.
I mean,
nobody's do it, but
you're gonna put it oil companies fucked, gas companies fucked, because they don't make the money off it. Why can't you find a news article about the dude who made a car out of?
The guy who ran a car on a oil farm. I don't know what to say about that, my guy.
Yeah.
Another guy. Well, yeah, like I said, that's just something. I want to say what I think he's talking about is, like I said, how the oil business and stuff let it go out. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's bad because his ex-wife. Okay. It was his ex-wife. Yeah, no, I was about to say. I thought it was the fucking ex-wife. Who the fuck knows, my guy? Who knows? But still, accident, blunt force death. I want to say. I could be completely wrong on this, but you can. I thought she fell down the stairs.
Oh, fuck! I'm.
That's what I heard. I could be wrong. It could be right. That's what I heard.
You know how easy it is to make it look like someone fell down the stairs?
And one. Fall down the fucking stairs. That's terrible. I'm sorry. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Yeah, you never know. Somebody could have been trying to hit him with a Euro step. Fucking.
Hey, she took a charge.
That's charge, my guy.
Life, but I mean.
Fuck it. That's terrible. That's terrible, my guy. He said, and one. Ain't no fucking way. All right. We're getting into the next thing. So yeah, we're about an hour and a half in. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. Yeah, we're gonna go for. Let's see how long the conversation lasts. Another thing I want to get into. We talked about majority of these things. Let's talk about the Stone Ape Theory. I'll give you my best knowledge that I possibly can. Right, I've heard of this conspiracy theory on Joe Rogan's podcast. I'm sure there is plenty of other sources of this, but that's how personally I was introduced to the idea. Obviously, Joe Rogan best podcast besides this one, or actually just second best. This is the best one right here.
I'm about to say this.
This is the fucking best one you got on, big dog. So second place, Joe Rogan's podcast, right? He was talking about the Stone Ape Theory. I want to say I can't remember who came up with the idea, the concept, right? But the concept is essentially that psychedelics were a factor in the development of the human brain over a period of, I want to say, a few million years to develop it. I want to say double in size or triple in size, something like that. Along with the trying out different food sources, like I said, like mushrooms might have been a contributing factor to development, like I said, within the brain. Certain things within the brain, specifically like the development of language, the development of like artistic endeavor. Things like that. So that's pretty much the conspiracy theory. Cam, what do you think about that shit? Because like I explained a little bit earlier as well.
The whole concept of like if you go in the evolution route, why are we what they say about evolution? We evolved from monkeys, right?
Sure.
Psychedelics do play if they do play part. That's why we still have monkeys that are bananas type stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we got keyboards that you can type on that aren't even connected to the screen. We got podcasts that we got people watching us
cameras,
sitting here talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are we able to do that, but no other species has been able to? That, if we're just talking evolution on this planet,
Aliens.
bro.
Hit you with that shit. Aliens. That's a good fucking answer right there. Who the fuck knows? Maybe they fucked with a monkey. Maybe an alien, thousands of years ago fucked the little human or fucked the little monkey, got freaky with him. Boom, instantly.
Yeah,
Instantly, my guy. That's how it was, my guy. Hey, who the fuck knows, my guy? Who the fuck knows, man?
That's a problem. We don't know, and I feel like
Hey, that could be real. Here's the thing: you might be able to find some evidence for that shit. Who the fuck knows, my guy?
oh, but that's the problem. I feel like there's people, things that know things that we want to know, but they don't want us to know.
That's just like I said. Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. Welcome to life. It's fucked up.
That shit
Fucked up, by the way. Welcome to life, though.
I'm hoping you die, you get all the answers to the questions that you want.
Shit, hope.
You see the way everything went.
I don't think. I hope life works that way, but I don't think it does.
I don't think so, but that'd be nice.
That'd be fucking dope, bro.
Like, yeah, so yeah,
all the shit that you ever wanted to know.
Like, yeah, so that's that ice wall. That shit's real. There's shit on the other side they don't want you to know about. UFOs, yeah, those are people coming over.
Try to help y'all out.
Yeah, and
once upon a time, an alien fucked a monkey, and then human beings were in existence, my guy.
Oh,
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Simple as that.
Who the fuck knows, my guy? Who the fuck knows?
So
So yeah, that's the Stone Ape Theory. I want to know your guys' thoughts. We got 5 people in here. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. Stay consistent. If you guys have any specific conspiracy theories you want us to touch on, I'm gonna try to go read over the comments as well. But yeah, like I said, just pretty much let me know. And I also want to see who's in here. We appreciate you guys stopping by though. Next thing I want to get into. Do you have anything in specific that you want to get into?
No, I kind of already touched on it, like
Okay.
the whole government hide shit type thing.
Yeah, I pretty much talked about majority of the topics. All right, another thing we could talk about, which I didn't think we were gonna get into today. Let's get into the moon landing.
Oh.
All right. All right. Where do we even start with the moon landing? Okay. Cam, you go ahead and take this one away. Take this one away, my guy.
I want to believe so bad that it is real. We flew to the moon, but the whole concept of it doesn't quite process correctly in my head, right?
Okay.
Meteors entering the atmosphere, right?
Sure.
They burn up, gone. That's a shooting star, right? We got meteor like holes, like the one. Where is it? There's one in Arizona. Like there's a meteor crater, right?
Yes.
Right, because it was big enough that it burned up to the size, but it still hit the ground. Look at the hole it made, right? So
Huge impact.
we go to the moon in a giant ass rocket ship with a million different boosters on it, right? We land on the moon. How the fuck we get the little? Because if you look at the pictures, the little landing thing.
Somebody came back, motherfucker. Somebody came back.
They came back. I don't know, because if you look at that thing don't look like it can just be like gone back in the moon. Plus, on the way back in, they told me that thing didn't just burn up, and then when it hit, because it landed in the water. It's actually a big splash.
Who the fuck knows? Who the hell knows?
I want to believe it's real so bad, but at the same time, it just logically and like physics it doesn't allow it to be real.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting things, right? So okay, a few things that I learned about the moon landing that kind of go hand in hand with what you're talking about, right? Obviously, the physical action of doing it. Another thing that could be hand in hand with it is obviously it was a competition.
Yeah.
Right. It was a competition to see who can get to the moon faster, and one of the ways that you can do it is by acting like you did it, right? That's going to diffuse some of the tension, essentially, right? So it was just a competition. So you have that to take into account. There's people that said you couldn't see any stars in the pictures and certain things like that. It looked like it was shot in a Hollywood studio. There was like a flag that was put on the moon that was waving. You also seen they brought back a footprint. I don't even know how the fuck you would even do that. A footprint of the fucking boot. And first of all, it doesn't even look like the footprint doesn't even look like the fucking physical boot that was stepped on it with. They show a picture of the imprint, and they show a picture of the fucking boot, and it's not the same fucking imprint.
Interesting.
Here's the thing, man. Who the fuck knows? Another thing I want to get into is
the government.
Hey, man. Another thing I want to get into is the fact that I heard about this. There was an interview that was taken by the boy. Yeah, it's Neil Armstrong, right?
Mm.
Who was on the moon, right? And he was very timid. in his interview, if you are a person who went to the moon and you're the first person ever to go onto the moon, wouldn't you come back and be like, I fucking did that. I'm the fucking guy, bro. I'm the guy. But apparently, people's impressions of the interview said that he was, like I said, he was timid. He was spooked almost in a way. Who the fuck knows? Maybe he was just acting. Maybe he was nervous. Maybe he didn't do it. Maybe he did do it. Who the hell knows? Was I up there with him?
No.
Were you up there with him?
I
Was
wasn't.
anyone watching this up there with him?
No.
How can we know for sure? And another thing that was a little fishy as well. The original footage for the original moon landing got destroyed or got lost or got we don't have it. How the fuck does that even make any sense? One of the biggest human achievements ever. And you're telling me you don't got evidence for it?
Said, we lost it. Fuck you mean you lost it?
How do you lose that shit?
That is footage of the biggest accomplishment of mankind, and you just, we lost it.
It's deleted. What are you talking about? Who the fuck was in charge of that shit? Here's the thing. That's okay. If maybe I did say something that was wrong about this entire thing. I could be completely wrong, right? But this is just what I've heard, and it doesn't sound exactly like super convincing. That makes sense. There's holes here and there, and enough holes. Enough holes kind of lead to if you have a fucking little bag of water, right? You start putting holes in that motherfucker, you're not gonna have any damn water left.
Yeah.
I have actual real evidence that exactly. That is a good question, my dog. That is a good question. Your guess is as good as ours, man. So yeah, it's ridiculous. All right, so is there anything else you want to talk about regarding the moon?
It's still just physically, like, it just simple laws of physics that they teach us. It can't happen. It just can't.
Or can it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a mind fucking itself, I would say. But yeah, the moon landing is definitely an interesting one. Definitely an interesting one. Like, so we got 4 people in there. Appreciate you guys stop by. Make sure you go ahead and leave a comment. But yeah, man, that's fucking the moon landing.
I like it. You've seen pictures of, like, what they landed on, right?
What do you mean?
Like the thing they used to, like, touch down onto the moon, like the landing craft.
I can't vividly picture it. You want to look it up for me?
Grabbing the phone again.
We got through. We're an hour 37 minutes in. Yeah, we pretty much got talked. We talked about a pretty diverse set of conspiracy theories. So just to go over the things that we went over, if you were interested, if you were watching this far and you didn't hear exactly everything that we said, these are some of the topics that we went over. So if you'd like I said, if you want to go ahead and rewatch, also if you're in here, appreciate it if you were leaving a like and also go ahead and subscribe. But we were talking about ocean aliens. We talked about just the ocean in general, potential dinosaurs, potential mermaids, potential megalodons, crazy shit. We talked about Antarctica. That's something that we also talked about earlier in the podcast. Just things surrounding the suspicion and rather the lack of knowledge that is on Antarctica. Talked about a little bit of flat Earth, Stone Ape Theory. Talked about aliens a little bit. Talked about social media and its the entire construct of how it's not exactly benefiting us. And we also talked about some things that we're just skeptical about within society. So if you're interested in any of those topics, go ahead and feel free to rewatch.
So you know what they took off in, right? 4,000 foot tall giant rocket ship with 1 million different boosters on it.
Yeah.
So this is what they landed on the moon in, and that's how they got back. You tell me that thing can fly the same way that big ass rocket ship could? No. You told me that thing has enough power to get it off the ground and get it back into our atmosphere safely.
Is it harder? Which you have to take into account. Is it harder to leave that atmosphere of the moon?
I mean, it's still gravity. I mean, yes, it's not as bad as Earth, but like still.
Yeah, it doesn't look that doesn't look super convincing. Yeah,
No.
I wish I could put it up. I wish I could just put it up on the fucking screen. I'll figure out how to do that very very soon. But he said I know how to do it right here. I got you right here, my dog.
We don't need no editing. We got this right here.
Come on, no, we got it.
No, it's not possible.
It's a little fishy to me, fellas. Come on now. Who the hell knows, man? Who the hell knows? All right. Yeah. So, like I said, if you're in here right now, appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you go and leave a comment just so we can see if there's any more conspiracy theories that you guys want us to touch on before we go ahead and end it off. I'm probably gonna end it off here at 10 o'clock, so just in about 20 minutes. So, like I said, make sure you leave us a comment. We can get into this one. We can go ahead and get into this one. This one's a little dark, man. This can go very dark. And I know you in something that you're very educated on, or rather, have your fair share of thoughts on. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the simulation.
Oh.
Cam, go ahead and get it started. Go to get it started, my guy.
I mean, I wouldn't rule it out as a possibility. Reason
Okay.
being, right?
Okay.
The whole concept of the world doesn't revolve around you. But if you really get into like retrospect with it, really think about it, you don't know what other people are thinking. You don't know if other people are just here as NPCs for you to have interactions with. Like this shit right here. This could be just like, oh, champ, you ain't a real person. I'm just here because I'm just supposed to be here, right? This is how my game is supposed to be played.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm following the story.
You're like a movie almost. You're
Yeah.
the main character, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, sometimes that's how it feels because interactions you have with people, you don't know. The way I look at it is, I don't know what you're thinking, right? I don't know how you feel. I don't know how you interact with people outside of what I can see, right? That's the biggest thing is like, if I don't see you talking to someone, how do I know that actually happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could just be fake. It's fabricated.
Yeah, for example, I don't work Sunday, Monday kind of a thing, right? On those 2 days, something crazy happens, but I didn't see it. It could just be a part of like, hey, you're supposed to know about this, but it doesn't really happen because you don't know if shit actually happens unless you're there.
Yeah, for sure.
That's where the whole kind of like simulation.
And you kind of just have to go ahead and believe it.
Yeah, and it's like I didn't see it, I didn't experience it. I'm just going off. You told me this, like outside of where you are, your surroundings at the current point in time
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. My car's sitting in your driveway right now.
Does it? But is it actually there?
Yeah, exactly.
Does it actually exist, or has it not loaded in yet until
It
you walk by it?
It doesn't load in until I walk out your front door and I see it.
That's true though. Hey, that's true. Tell him it's not true, my guy. Tell him it's not true. Who the fuck knows, my guy?
Exactly.
All right, so yeah, go getting back into the fucking deep hole of the conspiracy here, right? The potential that this is a simulation, and something I want to talk about, if I can hopefully explain it good, at least to the best of my ability. When it comes to a simulation or the creator of the simulation, it's going to be, you would never create a simulation on something that is less boring than your current based reality. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, for example, right, we have VR. That is a reality, right? With this reality, fucking him, bro. Hey, I feel the same fucking way, him. Need to fucking load in that fucking reality. Exactly, my guy. That shit's it.
And I'm the one.
Him came in clutch, boy. Hey, no. Hey, it's all good, fellas. Hey, single squad, my boy. Yes, sir. All right. What the fuck was I even at, man?
Fuck. I don't know.
That's what I'm fucking saying. Him, why the fuck you gotta say this shit? Fucking no. Him, don't say that. Don't say that. Oh, he forgot. No, please hope. He said there's ain't no fucking way, my guy. He didn't patch that shit, my guy.
I'm waiting for the fucking downtime to update that.
He said, I'm waiting for the fucking update, my G. Come on, no. Damn, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Oh, okay. Where the fuck was I at, bro? Okay, simulation. Okay, so yeah, okay. I think I remember. So obviously we have our VR. We're not going to make it more boring than the physical reality that we're in right now. It's going to be something that's going to be way more entertaining and something unlike this world. That's the only reason why we would even create it in the first place, is because it's something that's different anyways.
It's an escape.
It's an escape, and not only is it an escape, but it's also better. That's how it's advertised, at least. Don't you see the advertisements for the VR? Create your own fucking world, my guy. You can technically do that in the real world, but there's going to be some limitations. But if you do it in the VR world, you create your own reality.
Have you ever used one before?
Not a super vivid one. The two that I've used, I haven't used an Oculus.
Mm-hmm.
My little brother has an Oculus. He hasn't opened that bitch up since fucking Christmas. I don't understand how the fuck he wouldn't open that shit up. Okay, I've tried the PlayStation VR.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've tried like a VR at like fucking Main Event or Dave and Buster's where they have
Okay,
the you know the little shits you put on your face and it's like a roller coaster. Whatever.
Yeah.
But that's all of my experience that I have within that.
So my buddy Gavin has a Oculus, and I tried that shit one time when I was down. The way it feels, it's trippy because it's like I know my surroundings. I was in his living room, right? I know couch, TV, front door. Second you put them bitches on, after 5 minutes you have no idea where the fuck you are. You feel like you're
Everybody could have left the fucking room. You could be in a completely different room.
No, that's where I was kind of headed with this. So like, you are so immersed into it, you feel like whatever you're looking at through that Oculus. Because I was fucking around with the boxing game because that shit was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I felt like I was doing that. I think he's got a video I can have him send it to me. But like, I was doing that and
Locked in.
yeah, I don't like. There's no headset on, nothing. It's literally just the shit on my face. He walks in and is like trying to talk to me, but I am so in. I feel like what I have on my face is real. So like he's trying to talk to me, I'm not responding because I'm so into it. It's not like I got noise canceling headphones on. I am in the same
Which you
room.
could have, by the way.
Yeah.
Which would make it even fucked up.
But like the fact that I didn't even have anything on. I didn't have earbuds and nothing. It was just the shit on my face. I was so immersed into it. I thought that was what was real. I thought that was reality. He's got a video. He taps me on the shoulder. I shit myself. I didn't actually shit myself. I got scared.
You're not expecting that shit.
I didn't know he was there, and I was like, what I saw and what I felt were, I didn't feel what I saw, so I got scared.
Yeah, like you're kind of like disassociated from existence.
Yeah.
Essentially, reality.
So what's to say we are in the same kind of thing, but on a larger scale?
That is some good questions right there, my guy. Some good questions right there. Yeah, it's that entire thing is interesting. That VR thing. I actually got into the conversation with my grandma about that, which I will actually have my grandma on this podcast. And here's the thing: most grandmas are actually fucking lame. My grandma's not lame. She's literally the smartest woman that I've ever met. So I definitely got to have her on. The conversations that I've had conversations with my grandma that I've never been able to have with anyone else.
Damn.
That's how deep she's well read. Like I said, there's certain things that she just thinks about. For example, I can kind of give you a vague thing we talked about. She's basically saying that with this VR and you know how the world is going with the VR, obviously, it's gonna advance, and if it advances any more than it already is, then it's pretty much you're creating your own reality. When in reality, you're not really creating your own reality. Somebody else is creating the reality that you see, and that's how you become more manipulated. That's how you become more used, honestly. Because here's the thing: when we're in this reality, sure, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? When we're in this simulation, right, we are in control. But if we put something on our face, put something on our ears, put something on our body, we are locked in, like he said, like he was locked in to a specific fucking simulation, or not simulation, a specific reality. Then how are we going to really have our own reality? What are we actually going to be in control of if somebody else is doing it? Somebody else is making that for you.
Nothing. You are in control. You are just a puppet.
You are just a puppet, exactly. And that kind of is how, if somebody is like unaware of these things that we talked about today, aren't they just a puppet?
Mm-hmm.
They're just, like you said, like an NPC.
Yeah, like I mean, something I just thought of too is like
Lost
with
in
the
the
whole
sauce, my boy. Lost in the sauce, my
with
guy.
the whole like someone controlling your shit. Like, what if, right? And this is going back to the whole simulation thing. What if I'm saying like me, you, the whole simulation. Maybe I'm just someone that is sent back to look at where we went wrong, because we're in a simulation type shit now. But I'm the one person sent back to be like, where did we go wrong? VR wasn't a thing 5 years ago. It is just blown the fuck up out of nowhere.
Blown up. Like I said, you got the fucking impact fucking vest too.
You got the impact vest. You got the treadmills that when you walk on it, it moves you, right? So what if I'm myself, right? I'm just saying this from my
it's a hypothetical.
40 years down the road, right? World is completely immersed in VR. You got the fucking metaverse thing coming out where you can buy property on basically fucking like the internet kind of a thing. You know what I'm talking about?
In the metaverse.
Like there's some dude that dropped like $200K on a fucking yacht in the metaverse. Like you don't actually get that. But what if the way we're
You
headed?
get that though.
What if the way we're headed is everyone gets so immersed in the simulation type thing that they're like, why? Where the fuck did we go wrong? What if I'm the person that they sent back to be like, I need you to go back and see where we went wrong. You're gonna start from day one, from birth, but I'm in a simulation myself right now, in going back to be like, where the fuck did we go wrong? That shit.
Fellas.
It makes sense in my head, but saying it out loud, I feel like it doesn't make any
No,
sense.
I know. I understand. I understand what you're saying. No, I understand what you're saying. 'Cause we could all be sent on a specific. Well, realistically, that's kind of how it is, isn't it? We all serve a certain type of purpose, whether it's to be purposeless, or purposeful. We could all be that. So let's just say that was yours and mine was a completely different thing. That's kind of how it is, anyways, isn't it? But nah, that shit's fucked up.
But like going back on that is like, what if Deja Vu was like, holy shit, I remember it, because it's like they somehow got memories. They know exactly how your life went, so they like, all right, I'm gonna put you back. You're not gonna remember anything, but you're gonna have to go from day one and figure out where the fuck we went wrong. But Deja Vu is like, I've already done this. Like this is my life all over again. I remember now.
Yeah, that's.
How do you explain Deja Vu? That shit is the weirdest shit. You'll be sitting here and be like,
I dreamt about this shit.
bro, like I felt like I've already done this. What if it's like, oh shit, like, oh, that's a small trigger of my memory coming back while I'm in this simulation trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Cam, that shit's deep, my boy.
Oh,
They could have just fucking accidentally fucking press rewind and then press fucking fast forward and you're just living the shit again.
Yeah.
Cam, this shit's deep, my boy.
Oh,
That shit's deep, son.
that one went a little far. That's it.
That one's deep, boy. I told you about that shit. We already knew that shit could happen. Dylan said time to clock out. Or time to clock in, bud. Dylan said that.
Oh, I know exactly what he's talking about.
What are you talking about?
So.
Oh, here we go.
We can get into this later.
All right, fair enough.
Well, once we turn this off, I can explain it.
Okay. All right.
I saw that and I didn't know if Dylan Keller, time to clock. Yup, I know. That guy.
Well, maybe I'll understand one of these days, fellas. All right, the last conspiracy that we're going to talk about, which I want to talk about this very briefly. It's just something that kind of happened recently. I don't know if you're up to date with this, but okay, I'm going to explain this to the best of my ability. Okay, I don't know everything. I don't know all the little fucking things. I'm probably going to know more than the average person, but right, I'm going to say a few days ago, I want to say July 5th. Have you ever heard of Cern?
Cern?
Yes.
I have not, no.
Okay, Cern is a company that they have a hydrogen, I don't even know what the fuck, a particle collider. That's what it is. They have a particle collider, and there was a bunch of things that were going on TikTok saying that what they're going to do is shift us into another universe or a different, maybe create a black hole. Something. There's something there, right? They basically are trying to break down what is a part of atoms and stuff like that, and what is like the actual what are they made up of, which they did find they did do it, and they did find some other things that they weren't really conscious of at first, so that was kind of cool, right? But there's this entire conspiracy theory saying that this is going to shift or change the timeline that we were on, some type of way. Like I said, if you're not really too well read on it, then it's kind of hard to explain fully. But the concept was that this happened in the past, and there was. Have you ever heard of Mandela Effect?
Yes.
This is what kind of the conspiracy theory said, right? There was before that everything was normal. Cern did a first startup that was less powerful. And then majority of those Mandela Effects started to come out.
Like what
and
kind
then
of
now, what do you mean?
Like what kind of Mandela Effects happened, or is it just kind of like they happen, we just don't know what they are?
No, do you know? Okay, Mandela Effect is something that people remember one way when in reality it was a completely different way.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, yeah. Like the monocle on the Monopoly Man.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically that's the same type of realm. But what I was trying to get into was they fully fired this motherfucker to full fucking thing, or full speed, whatever the hell you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
They fully powered it up, and like I said, these people on TikTok, and it was a talk for a few days, right? They basically said that it's gonna shift something, and we might now experience more Mandela effects or more errors in the existence that we're living in.
Damn. I could see that being a thing.
I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I mean, it's kind of like something happens that can completely alter, like, this is kind of a bad example maybe, but like you saw the Avengers movies, like the Infinity War and Endgame, right?
Yeah.
We are on this timeline. Something happens that fucks it up. We are going this way now. The timeline's going this way. In the movie, it was like, oh, they didn't put the stones back, whatever. It's part of the movie. But like, what if like our timeline like this? Something like that. We're not supposed to fuck with atoms. We're supposed to just be like, yep, you are what you are. Whatever.
You exist.
You exist.
That's the fucking basis.
Maybe when they start fucking with atoms, splitting them when they're not supposed to, that's when the timeline goes, oh no, you're headed this way now because you started doing shit you're not supposed to.
Which is probably more than likely. I'm sure we've done, as human beings, have done a bunch of stupid shit that's going to lead to a shift in the a trajectory of where we're headed. I'm sure of it. Yeah, like I said, we do a bunch of dumb shit. We do a lot of fantastic, amazing shit.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of dumb shit. Come on, let's keep it 1,000. But yeah, that's basically the conspiracy theory. Like I said, it happened July 5th, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't hear anything about that.
It was something that it definitely consumed our mind, and something I was definitely conscious of in those few days. But yeah, that is how we're going to really end it off. Before that, I want to go ahead and end it off with giving the people some game, just like we kind of did last time. Cam, do you have any game for the people, my guy? Is there anything you can put them on? Maybe a new mindset, maybe an idea, maybe something that they can go ahead and take forth for their week. Is there anything you got on your mind or what?
I think what I said last time really.
No, we need something else. We need something.
Yeah,
We need something
oh,
fresh, my
shit.
boy.
I
Something
know.
fresh, my guy.
Same what I said last week. I don't know if I could top that, but we're gonna have to think of something here.
You can top it, man. Just think
Oh.
about something.
No. Damn, we might be in a few moments of silence here.
All right.
My brain
Well, maybe we
operates.
are. I have a board right there. I get some inspiration off of that. I don't always take everything off that, but I'm just gonna fucking take something from that. I'm gonna create it my own. Give me a second, fellas. Give me a second. We're just looking up on my fucking board, my guy. We're gonna give you guys one last piece of game before we go ahead and end it off. Yeah, just give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'll go first. Okay. All right. I'm gonna say something. I might have said it in previous podcasts, but I'm gonna go ahead and reiterate it right now. Okay. Hold on. What the fuck is it again? Okay. All right. Here's what it is. You have to be him before you become him. So if you're watching this right now, there's things that you want to do in your life. There's things that you want to do in your life that you're not exactly doing. This is how everyone lives, right? In order to become the person that does those things, you need to act in accordance to what that person does. So be him before you become him. There's certain things that you might even put ahead of you, that you might put above yourself, when in reality, you can most definitely do those things. So I want you to really focus in on those things that you want to be, and be the person that you are supposed to be because of that. Don't put any limitations on yourself. Just be who you're destined to be, and like I said, don't let anybody try to take you off that track. That's pretty much what I'm ending you guys off on. Cam, what do you think? Cam, give us some game. Give the people some game, my guy.
That's kind of what I was gonna go with.
Oh, okay.
Now
You can add to it if you want.
I think I might just add to it.
Okay.
It's like kind of like I think I said last time on the podcast. I was like, don't ever try to be someone that you see other people like. You will always attract the people that want to be around you. We kind of talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
Just don't go out of your way for people that won't do the same for you. I guess is my
Okay, that's spitting game right there.
my words of wisdom here is don't go out of the way for people that aren't going to do the same for you, right?
Yeah, match the energies, my boy.
Yeah, so if don't change who you are to be who people want you to be. Just be yourself, live the way you want to live, do the things you want to do. Now, if you the only exception I make to that is if you're trying to do some weird ass shit, don't do it. That's
fair enough.
some like illegal type, like you are the scum of the earth type shit. I mean, if that's you, do it, but it might be shunned upon. Like pedophilia, that I just threw that word out there.
Hey, fellas.
That's
Hey,
just weird. Don't do that.
come on
Don't
now.
fucking do that.
use your brain, my dog. Use your brain, my guy.
But like when it comes to like the way you act, the way you talk, the way you dress, don't do the shit that you want people to like. Do the shit that you like, because then you're gonna attract the people that are gonna be like, oh, fuck with your kind of vibe.
Exactly, yeah. And it kind of goes hand in hand with that, just being authentic. Be
Yeah.
authentically yourself, and never fear the judgment that will come with that. That's the point of life in general, is just to be as is, essentially. Of course, you want to be better, but be yourself. If that's what you are, then that's you.
Yeah.
All right, so that's how we're gonna go ahead and end it off. We're gonna end it off here just over 2 hours.
Damn.
Cam, I appreciate you for stopping by. We'll definitely have to have him more back on the podcast. If there's any specific topics you want me and Camryn to talk about on our next podcast that we do in the future, go ahead and let me know as well. But other than that, I appreciate everyone for stopping by. And like I said, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. This was episode number 41 of the Life of Champ podcast. You're chilling with Camryn and talking about the conspiracy theory. So we're going to go ahead and end it off. I appreciate you guys. And until the next podcast, which will be Thursday, that's how we're going to wrap it up. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week.
Clocking in.